Right, gentlemen, let's discuss this here. I suppose the sensible place to start is why does this band merit this kind of coverage at this stage in their history?
Well, we did try One Direction, but they weren't interested. So we moved on. I mean, look, you're talking 25 years of good tunes. I think it's not easy for any band to keep doing good songs for such a long time. And they mean a lot to me, mean a lot to Tony, obviously, mean a lot to a lot of people, so it needed a book done. Simple, I think.
Makes perfect sense to me. Tony, the strength of this band, of course, is that they're not one. It isn't just about the music, because this is what the appeal has been with them, and it's going to work with you as you're an eyes guy. Sure, yeah. They've got to look. There's something about them, isn't there? Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of. I mean, you know, I didn't bring much to it really. It was to point the camera at them, but yeah, it's one of the same. It's very stylised, very. You know, they're just mods, aren't they? Mod band. Our generation's Small Faces, and I was lucky enough to just be around for it, really. You know.
The thing about them is, they're, as individuals now, they're out there doing their own thing. They're still highly respected. Are they still comfortable with the idea of being that band?
I think so. I mean, whenever they're out there touring, I still go and see them, and always have done, and I always know I'm going to get a good night, you know, go and mates would have a good night, and for me that hasn't changed since the first time I saw them, you know, and I think...
It's a sort of funny position of, it's no accident that they're still around. A lot of people go and see them for the nostalgic reasons, but there's a reason why they're still together and none of the other big bands of that time are. It's just because of the quality, I think.
Were you imagining X amount of years ago that you might be at a kind of launch for this kind of thing?
It's quite surreal, really, because it's packed.
Yes.
And it's fantastic to see the book, because the pictures are so beautiful, and the fact that so many people come out to support it it's quite heartwarming, actually.
Did you think at the time? I mean, of course, you know, you're self-aware. You know, your kids, you're dressing up and stuff like that. Were you aware of the kind of iconic nature of what you might be up to?
At the time, you're not, because you're living it. You know, I mean, when we put Riverboat out, we thought it was the most uncommercial song that we had on the record. That's why we put it out. I think partly to protect ourselves in case it wasn't a hit, and also because we thought we wanted to do like an underground sort of Ray Charles thing going on. And then the next thing you know, it's on Radio 1, and then people start turning up to gigs dressed like we are. So we weren't aware until other people made us aware of what was going on, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. It was a strange bubble of a world, wasn't it? Because look at the bands that you're associated with Oasis and Paul Weller and that kind of thing. Something built up, didn't it? There was something of a movement going on, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. I remember did a festival with Weller, OCS, and Oasis were playing at the same one, and we were all standing there watching each other and thinking, this hasn't really happened for, well, I don't know, about the 60s or the 70s maybe, for a long time, maybe going back to the early 90s with the Bunnymen and the Smiths, New Order and what have you. But you actually had cool bands in the charts who were socialising together. So yeah, it was a scene, though it felt just like a day-to-day life, to be honest with you.